I just feel that every time I buy a pint of Murphy's out in my own small way, I'm paying back the Murphy firm or family or whoever's on the place for the employment that I'm getting there, which enabled me to educate and we are a family. Without that job, I just know that I'd have to emigrate the same as thousands more.
Came to that point, I'd say, in 1951 before I did get a job in the brewery. If I hadn't got the job in the brewery at that stage, it looked like that emigration was the job. There was nothing to it, only emigration.
Oliver Cromwell's campaign in Ireland in 1649 created the first wave of Irish emigration. Cromwell passed through the land, it was said, like a lightning, and shipped 12,000 prisoners to the Caribbean, giving rise to a new verb. This terrible protector, wrote one contemporary, is very apt to Barbados, an unruly man. Another destination was Montserrat. Some Irish first came here as early as the 1650s. As well as their accent, they left place and family names scattered across the island. Places like Kinsale and Galway, and names like Daly, Sweeney, Ryan, and Allen.
Well, the Irish people came to Montserrat on account of Cromwell, where was exiled. We heard they had some fighting there, and the Irish people came and they was inside. So they was sent out of the island. So and we are some of the older descendant remains.
The scattering Irish also took their accents and language to the foggy shores of Newfoundland.
Take me back to that snow-green where the seas roll up their thunder. There let me rest in the earth's cool breast, where the stars shine out their wonder, and the seas roll up their thunder.
They first came to Newfoundland waters as seasonal cod fishermen. By the 18th century, they were settled along the south coast in communities that are still reminiscent of their homeland.
They were trained singers and they were trained dancers. If you see them stepping, I don't know, all these good in Ireland today is what they are, them step dancers. Dear, my goodness gracious of heaven. If you only just see them dancing.
In Ireland, another legacy of the Cromwellian settlement was the emergence of an Anglo-Irish ruling class, known as the Ascendancy.
Well, I would imagine at the beginning of the 17th century that they would have had to have learned Irish, but after the Act of Union, where the centre of influence and power was really shifted to London, there was really not a necessity, or seemed to be a necessity, to be able to speak Irish, which I think is somewhat of a tragedy.
Lord Henry, the Earl of Mount Charles, is Irish. His family have lived here since the 17th century. But his accent is almost indistinguishable from that of the British aristocracy.
I think that English as a language was very much spoken amongst families like mine that were associated with the ascendancy, largely because it was through the ascendancy and attachment to, say, the Protestant cause that power and influence lay.
The family home, Slane Castle, is strategically sited on the River Boyne. It's a few miles from the site of the Battle of the Boyne. Here in 1690, the Protestant armies of King William defeated the Catholic forces of Old Ireland and decided the victory of the Orange over the Green.
The family displayed a sort of extraordinary degree of sure-footedness at the Battle of the Boyne, because we actually succeeded in fighting on both sides. And one particular member of the family deserted when he reckoned the battle was going in King William's favour. And ever since then, we really did benefit during that period by our attachment to the Williamite cause, or the Protestant cause. The Anglo-Irish, or the ascendancy, performed a form of linguistic imperialism in this country, largely because to be Protestant, to be able to speak English, to be culturally and linguistically linked with England meant better status, better prospects of promotion. Adherence to the Protestant cause did a great deal to damage the Gaelicness, the Irishness, the traditional Irishness of this country. So therefore, for centuries, to be linked with the ascendancy was a meal ticket, a linguistic meal ticket.
During the 18th century, English continued to advance. In 1800, perhaps more than half the population spoke Irish, but 100 years later, more than 85% spoke only English. The cause of this linguistic upheaval was the potato famine. Hunger and hardship had always driven the Irish into exile. Now they fled their homes by the million. The Irish lived mainly on potatoes. For several years, the crop failed, and they starved. It was catastrophic. English and Irish observers described horrific scenes.
6 famished and ghastly skeletons were huddled in a corner on some filthy straw. 2 frozen corpses were found lying upon the mud floor, half devoured. A mother was seen the same day to drag out the corpse of her child and leave it half covered with stones.
The Great Famine of the 1840s